My name is Minato Kasai. I'm 24 and I work in sales at a real estate company. For certain reasons, I'm using my mother's maiden name, Shiraishi. Phew, I stayed up late studying for my certification exam, so I'm sleep deprived. Even as a working adult, I was learning work stuff and aiming for my certification. The learning never stopped. The days were hard, but worthwhile. Today, I was leaving work behind and enjoying a delicious dinner with my girlfriend.
This is really delicious.
This is Yura Makino. She's 23 and works as a salesperson at a luxury jewelry shop. She's a year younger than me. Yura works at a high-class jewelry shop. She can be a bit out there, but she's very thoughtful. She never complained even though we couldn't see each other often, and she gave me words of encouragement every day. I'm earning money now. I should propose properly. It's been 6 years since we had started dating in high school. It was just a verbal agreement, but Yura and I were engaged. We were looking toward the future.
Hey, Minato.
Huh? What's wrong, Yura?
I like someone else. So let's break up.
What? It was unexpected. I had planned to give her a ring today, and all at once, I was at rock bottom.
Actually, yesterday a rich heir confessed to me.
Rich heir?
These past few months, he's been coming by the shop I work at. He had been discussing with me about what ring to buy, and that turned out to be a present for me. He told me he had been looking for a ring that fit me, and I fell in love. He's my destiny.
Destiny? How about our 6 years together? Was that all just for fun?
No, I got engaged with you because I was serious, and I don't regret the time I spent with you. It was so much fun. But I met the man I was destined to be with. I thought about it. They say you can't fight fate, but it's true. So, I'm sorry.
I see. Thank you for these 6 years, Yura. I figured it was pointless to tell her what I had planned to say, and I swallowed my words.
Me too. Thank you for a happy time, Minato. I hope you find happiness too. I'll pay you consolation money.
This is how I got dumped. A few months later, Yura had paid me the consolation money, and I was working and studying even harder. I'm glad I have something to focus on. I don't have to think about my heartbreak. Ironically, work and exam setting were great. I used my heartbreak as a catalyst to work even harder. On my day off, I was at my grandfather's house. It's been a while since I was last here. My grandma passed away a few years ago. I thought he would be on the porch as always. Oh, you're here, Minato. Hey, Grandpa. Natsumi? I saw a familiar woman on the porch. Her name is Natsumi Kurosaki, and she was my childhood rival. We had similar upbringings. We were the same age, so we were always competing.
I'm gonna get the top score on the next test too.
Huh. The last final, I got full marks. I don't know where you get your confidence.
When are you gonna admit your losses? That's why last time you did something dumb like run out of pencil lead at the last minute.
Ugh. That continued until middle school. We went to different high schools, so we grew apart. Because of our families, we saw each other from time to time, but that was it. So, I didn't think I would see her here today.
Why are you just standing there? Sit.
You don't have to tell me. Why are you here?
Grandfather asked me to eat together. You also happen to be invited.
My grandfather and Natsumi's grandfather were old friends. That's why he had always looked after Natsumi. They still have tea or meals together often. I heard you were heartbroken, so I was worried. But you seem alright. I guess I didn't have time to be heartbroken. I heard your certification is going well. Good.
Heartbreak?
That's right. I heard he really got the worst end of the stick. You're not wrong, but you could sugarcoat it. It was a little awkward having Natsumi know that. I thought she would say something mean and looked over. Natsumi?
Huh?
What's wrong? You're spacing out. It's not like you. Surprisingly, Natsumi was staring off into space.
No, it's nothing. I heard it was a long-term relationship. That's unfortunate. You never proposed. That's why this happened. But maybe that was for the best?
Yeah. I was expecting a rude comment, but she gave me encouragement. I'm a little happy, a little sad. I felt a little uneasy without the usual banter. How about Natsumi? Does she have a boyfriend? Maybe she's already engaged. Natsumi, who wasn't mentally here, and me, who was confused. I thought I would just ask her about it, but... Oh yeah, Minato. Takeshi's wedding is in a month. Grandpa spoke as if he had just remembered. I frowned at his words. He's getting married? What? Seriously? Is he okay?
You're harsh. I'm sure you aren't happy about it, though.
That's not what I meant. Hey, Grandpa, can I not go? Takeshi was my nephew. He was a year younger than me. I have a brother that's much older than me, and he's the current heir of the family. His son is Takeshi. Minato, how are you and your girlfriend? I bet you can't hang out with her because you're always working. Takeshi saw me as a rival, and he always said something rude when we saw each other. You have to treat women delicately. Only a matter of time before she dumps you. He had said this the last time we met. I had let it slide, but I was broken up with a few days after that. It's a relative's wedding, so I'm sure I have to be there, but I don't wanna. He was cuter when he was younger. You have to greet the other guests too. You're definitely going. I'll take care of it, okay? You can't run away, Minato. My grandfather's words were kind, but left no room for refusal. I couldn't say anything and nodded. Don't worry, Natsumi-chan is here for you.
Grandfather? It's not for Minato. I was invited as well. Stop that.
You're a tough critic. I was set to be a part of my nephew's wedding. I got ready and unwillingly arrived at the wedding. There was... What?
Long time, Minato. I was surprised. You really were his relative.
Yuta, the bride, was wearing a wedding dress. She smiled at me happily. Long time. I had let my grandfather arrange my day. It was not normal, but I hadn't known who the bride was. I thought it was not good to let that show, so I managed to squeeze something out.
Do you know her?
Yeah. Natsumi noticed my reaction and looked at Yuta. I couldn't say that it was my ex, so I gave a vague reaction.
I'm so happy. I get to have such a gorgeous wedding. On top of that, you're here. I'm even happier. Thank you, Minato.
I never imagined that the rich heir that Yuta talked about could be my nephew, Takeshi. I was at a loss for words when I felt an uncomfortable weight on my shoulders. What? It's Minato. I'm glad you came here for me. Don't lay a finger on my wife. Natsumi-chan, you should find someone nice at this wedding too. As I had thought, he came at me, and I was already annoyed. Natsumi looked at us suspiciously.
Are you?
I'm fine, but don't say rude things to Natsumi. What? Do you like Natsumi-chan? It's none of your business. Yuta dumped you, so you are hurt.
I knew it. You're Minato's ex-girlfriend.
What? You didn't know? I received this beautiful bride right here from Minato. I went to her every day. I got chills when it all came to fruition. Minato had always been praised more than me, and the girl he loved chose me. Nothing feels better than this. You understand, right? Wait, a cold-blooded girl doesn't have feelings, huh? Huh? Takeshi, what are you? I was about to say something back, but Natsumi stopped me silently. It's not good to cause a scene. I reluctantly stood back.
I don't understand it.
The reception began. It was their time to greet each table, and of course, they came to the table I was at.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, I am. The food's good. I'm having a good time.
I'm glad. Takeshi-kun, I'm finally going to be a presidential lady.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Minato. I got the company and the girl.
Are you misunderstanding something?
What? Don't say random stuff just because you're upset I took her from you.
I don't care about her. Be happy.
Huh? Misunderstanding? What does that mean? You've been fooled. If we're talking heirs, Minato's in the same position. Also, Minato's the next president. What? Minato is the heir? President? You really don't know anything. Minato is the younger brother of Takeshi-kun's father, Nagisa-sama.
Yura became pale at Natsumi's words. She came up close to me.
No way. Wait, you didn't say anything. Your last name.
That day, I was gonna tell you everything as I gave you a ring. People kept trying to get close as if I looked like a gold bar to them. Like you had with Takeshi.
But I heard that the current heir to the Kasai family is Takeshi's father. Then the next heir is not you but Takeshi. I didn't make a mistake.
Stop causing a scene. You can't even act properly.
My grandfather spoke harshly. He was completely different from when we ate together. Grandpa, sorry, we're standing out.
I got the gist of the conversation. Takeshi.
Grandfather crossed his arms and walked over to Takeshi and Yura with an aura of intimidation.
I'm sure you know, but I can't let a guy like you take over our family.
But the heir should be his son, me.
No, I will decide based on who can protect Kasai Real Estate Group. Your father says the same. If you're in charge of employees and other groups, nothing is more important than protecting that. Your stance comes second.
Takeshi couldn't say anything back. My grandfather inhaled deeply to say the next thing.
I'm sure you know already. The one who can do that is not you, but Minato. I hear you show off your family name, have a big head, and always cause trouble. How about Minato? Unlike you, he builds up his knowledge and is taking on several certification exams. He isn't full of himself, not arrogant. Hardworking Minato should be at the top.
Grandpa!
The other day, he said that the person after him should be Minato. Nagisa saw through you, his own son.
My father was the CEO, but he passed away from illness, so my brother became the heir. Takeshi and I weren't old enough to take over yet. So it was basically a given that Takeshi or I would take over someday. For that, I worked and studied hard.
Takeshi, you're my son, but you've disappointed me. You are fooling the woman who would be your wife. I can't leave anything to you. My feelings won't change. Minato is the next inheritor.
Wait, Dad!
No way. I decided to get married because Takeshi is the heir and my future would be set.
I won't say much more, but it's not a lie that Takeshi is a rich son. But your future, I think that depends on how hard he works after he marries you. You might have been blinded by an inheritance or a fateful encounter, but I wanted you to look deeply. I guess it's too late though. Enjoy your time without worrying about me. The reception hall was buzzing, but the MC lady moved it forward. Are you Minato-sama? I heard from Sojuro-sama that you're a very good man. Oh, thank you. Please continue to take care of the Kasai family. After that, I was greeted by many guests, and I really felt that I was gonna take over the Kasai name in the near future. On the other hand, The bride and groom looked like the souls were sucked out of them, and the reception would come to an end. 2 months later, I was walking around with Natsumi. It was the first time since Takeshi's wedding. This is unusual, for you to ask me.
Who cares? You don't have anyone to go on a date with anyway.
What? You're pouring salt on my wounds. Well, my wounds are healed, so it's okay. I had managed to switch gears, and I'm working every day to prepare to inherit the company from my brother.
Still, it's crazy that the woman you were going out with for so long is like that. I'm surprised you liked her and were thinking about marrying her. You really have no taste.
She asked me out, and I thought she was a good person. I said those things to Yuta, but maybe I hadn't been able to look deeply either.
For real.
But there's one person I'm sure about. My first love.
What? Minato, wait!
It was in that moment I heard a voice call my name. Yuta-san, what are you doing here? After all that, she couldn't break off the engagement and ended up marrying Takeshi.
Minato, I'm really sorry. I know you'll say that this is not right, but I broke up with you and married someone else. I regret it. You were always honest, with work and with me, but I couldn't see that. I'm sorry. I know it's too late, but I couldn't not say anything. If you'll give me a chance, I want to start over.
What are you? You're already married to Takeshi.
I'm gonna divorce him, so...
That's not the problem.
Yuta-san, was it?
Natsumi spoke in a lower, quieter tone than usual.
Takeshi-kun angered grandfather the other day and was kicked out of his company. He's about to be unemployed, so you panicked and came to see Minato. Your desperation is obvious, it's hard to watch.
Takeshi didn't change his tune after marriage, and finally, he had faced my grandfather's wrath.
That's rude. It's none of your business. It is. I won't make the same mistake again.
Natsumi spoke with conviction and looked at me. I realized she was continuing the conversation from earlier, and I widened my eyes.
I've seen you since he was a kid. I couldn't be honest because I liked you.
What?
I won't give you up to another girl again. I'll make you happy.
I had always thought we were rivals, so my heart thumped loudly at her confession.
But you like me more, right? Because we're lovers, right?
It's true we were lovers, and I was thinking about marriage, but that's in the past. We're done. I have no more feelings for you. And I faced Natsumi. My childhood friend, my first love, mustered the courage to say that. I want to think about a future with Natsumi.
Minato! What?
Yuta started crying. I didn't feel anything. More than that, I had something I needed to do. I don't have good taste in women, but I know that I'm not wrong about you. Natsumi Kurosaki, will you go out with me on the basis of marriage?
Of course.
Natsumi smiled with tears in her eyes. I wanted to hug her right there. Congrats! Huh? I looked around in shock. Before we had realized, there were people gathered around us. This was downtown on a weekend. We were standing out. Hope you have a happy one. Yes, thank you. Let's go, Natsumi. We need to tell Grandpa.
Yeah.
Natsumi had her reddened face tilted down. She must be embarrassed. When I squeezed her hand,
I'm the president's daughter of Kurosaki Real Estate Group. I don't want to blackmail you, but I won't hold back if it's about Minato. Goodbye. Huh?
she said this so others couldn't hear, and we were congratulated as we laughed.
Kurosaki Real Estate? They're just as big as Kasai Real Estate.
Soon after, Takeshi was pushed away by everyone in the family and forced out of the company. He became unemployed, and the topic of divorce had come up between him and Yuta. The two of them were already living separately. They were fighting via attorneys. Doing things just for revenge or marrying for money won't ever end well. I learned from their mistakes and hope to make them lessons for my own life. What will their lives become? No one knows.
You guys took the long way around.
When we told my grandpa, he was very happy for us. We were invited to dinner, and the three of us were relaxing on the porch.
I didn't think I was your first love.
I was surprised too that you liked me. I always thought that you liked Takeshi.
Huh? Takeshi and I were at the same high school, and he found out that I liked you, so he told me a bunch of stories about you.
Oh.
If you're gonna say that, weren't you going out with Takeshi?
What?
Because...
So, the other day, Minato had his first wet dream. He was panicking, so I showed him how to wash his underwear discreetly.
I see. Minato is growing up. By the way, why do you know about that? Just because you're relatives?
That's... don't make me say it.
I read it in a book that I borrowed from Takeshi. You guys had a forbidden relationship. And Takeshi's jealousy exploded after you broke up, so he stole your girlfriend.
Everything apart from the wet dream is incorrect. That's all from the weird book that he secretly had at one point. Don't take it seriously.
What? But...
At the time, he couldn't sleep by himself, so we slept in the same bed. Takeshi was telling you to not make him say that.
Oh, I see.
I'm glad you get it.
Relax. I'll love you even if you're a bottom.
You don't get it, do you? She had that in her head, so once we were high schoolers, she was gonna volunteer herself as a mistress just to give birth to the next heir. But I started dating Yuta, so she gave up on that plan. What does that mean? So she thought that I was going out with Takeshi, so she gave up. Then I went out with Yuta, so she... In some way, we took the long way around because of Takeshi.
So, which is it? Should I get surgery?
No, you shouldn't! Ah, Takeshi! Oh. No matter what kind of household you're born into, if you take it for granted, you will get what you deserve. I want to protect the people who've stuck by my side. And I want to work hard to continue the legacy of the Kasai family for the next generation. First, I gotta punish Takeshi a little more.